So for those who may be new to the channel, or maybe you just forgot because it's been a little minute, I used to be a scout. I was a Cub Scout from the age of 5 to 11, and then from 11 to 18, I was a Boy Scout. Once I turned 18, for a very brief period of time until I went to college, I was an assistant scoutmaster. One of my favorite trips of all time that we did in Scouts were camping trips. I love camping trips, but more than anything, I love the pre-preparation of, or should I say just preparation in general, of camping trips, because I just love preparing for things in general. It was always fun exploring how we would navigate. Our scoutmasters would come in and we would have a meeting, and he would talk to us, or they would talk to us and let us know what will be the ins and outs of the trip. So today, because it's summer on Smash, I want to talk to you guys about, preparation of camping trips, what you should do during the camping trip, and what you should do once you come home. This is going to be a quick video just to, kind of give you guys some information about that. For anybody that has never gone on a camping trip, or maybe it's been a while since you've been on a camping trip and you just need a little bit of a refresher, right? Before we begin, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. And I do appreciate you, as always, for joining me. All right, so let's get to it. So what are three? We're going to go 3 for 3 for 3. 3 things to prepare, 3 things to do once you get there, and 3 things to do once you return. So what are 3 things you should do before you go camping? Now, this goes for beginners. This goes for intermediate campers. This goes for advanced campers. Everybody should do this. Number 1, you should look into what the area is like if you've never been there. Now, obviously, if you've been there, you can just go ahead and skip the step. But if you've never been to this camping site before, this particular area, look up the terrain, look up the environment, right? And the reason why I say do this is because you want to know what you're getting into before you arrive. I know sometimes when we take, you kind of want to treat it like it's a vacation in a sense, right? And I mean that in the sense of, when you go on vacation, you always kind of explore the different places around the area you're staying in, like the restaurants, the places to sightsee, so on and so forth. It's no different for a camping trip. And I would actually argue it's probably more crucial because you're going to be in the great outdoors. Regardless if you're staying in a cabin or staying in a tent, you're going to be exposed to a lot of the elements of nature, and these are things that you need to prepare for. So explore the terrain, explore the outside areas, so on and so forth. Figure out what emergency areas are around there. That way, just in case something crazy happens and you need to go somewhere for an emergency, or you have to leave quickly for whatever the reason may be, you know exactly where to go. Number 2, similar to the packing video that I did on Tuesday, which, by the way, if you missed that, make sure you check that out. Make sure you have all of your essentials. Obviously, your hygienic items, your clothes. You'll need certain things like a flashlight. You'll need ropes. You might need, what do you call those things? I can't think of the name right now. The little stakes for the tents. If you're doing the tent, if you're staying in the cabin, obviously you don't need those. You also got to think about the weather factor. Are you going during the winter? Are you going during the summertime? You'll need not just certain types of clothing, but also certain types of material to keep you extra warm, keep you cool, right? So those are things that you want to think about, making sure that you have plenty of water, regardless if it is the summertime or wintertime or fall or spring. Because again, you're going to be outdoors the whole time. So these are things to consider. And number 3, as far as preparation for going on the trip, make sure you have your emergency contacts in place. Once again, that way, if something goes wrong and you need to call somebody, you can get to them immediately. Obviously, depending on how far you go, if it's an emergency, God forbid, something crazy happens, 911 is going to be the top contact for you. But hopefully it doesn't get to that, right? So those are things you should do to prepare for, your camping trip. Now, what are 3 things that you want to do once you get there? Number 1, inspect the camping site. Here's why I say inspect the camping site. Because, it's always of proper due diligence that when somebody leaves a camping site, they need to make sure that everything is taken care of, that the area is clean, so on and so forth. But every once in a while, and we've experienced this as scouts when I was a Boy Scout, that wasn't necessarily the case. Granted, it was nothing too horrible, but just saying. So inspect the camping site, make sure there was nothing left behind. If there's any trash, make sure you discard it, because obviously you don't want to attract certain animals, which I'm going to get to that in number 3. So hold that thought for a second. And also just be familiar where everything is at around the camping site. Where's the fire pit, if there is a fire pit. If you're staying in a cabin, is there a bathroom in the cabin or by the cabin? Will you be able to use a restroom? Is there a porta potty? Potentially, and maybe there's not. If there's not, then that means, guess what? You got to find a way to go outdoors. You know what I'm saying? Which there's a whole thing about that, which I'll probably get into that in another video. So explore the camping site, number one, once you get there. Number two, I would say start setting things up immediately. I would recommend getting to the camping site during the day. Don't get there at night. I'm not saying you can't set up at night, but you want to be aware of your peripheral vision and your surroundings and so on and so forth. And if you're setting up at night, again, you're outside. You're in the great outdoors. And while the great outdoors can be wonderful, depending on where you go, it can also be pretty dangerous. So you want to make sure that you are aware of your surroundings, which is something that you should be doing at all times while you're on your trip. And then also, number three, kind of going back to a small point for number one, make sure that, any items as far as trash and so on and so forth, or food, keep that stored away, something that's tight fit, because you got to remember, while you might be in a place where you might not deal with the extreme side of animals like bears or wolves or coyotes, you still got to deal with the small fries that can be quite annoying, different types of bugs, raccoons, things that sort of nature. So any food that you have, you want to keep it sealed tight. And when you are done with your food, you want to keep it airtight in a trash bag, or, well, not trash bag, but, some form of trash that is maybe off to the distance from where you're staying, so that way you're not attracting other animals to come in your area. I mean, shoot, if you can keep it in your car, I would go with that route, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be eating quite a bit of non-perishable items, if you will. I mean, obviously, there are going to be some things that you might cook on a campfire, so on and so forth. If you go fishing, you might, gut the fish, clean it, remove the bones, stuff like that, and cook it. But you get what I'm saying. Now, here are 3 things that you should do once you return from a camping trip, and these are extremely important. Number one, if you had a tent that you were sleeping in, what I would do, and also with your sleeping bag, is make sure you hang it up somewhere. You got to remember, even if the weather was really nice, I'm more so referring to the tent with this one, it's been on the ground all this time. So you want to shake it out before you leave, hang it up somewhere to kind of dry off. Make sure you clean it up also when you get home, so it doesn't build mildew or anything like that. So that way it can be ready to go for the next trip. Number 2, make sure you inspect your clothes for ticks and other bugs. Believe it or not, it's never happened to me, but I've heard stories of people coming back and they brought like ticks into the home or different insects and so on and so forth. So inspect your clothes, make sure everything is good. I mean, you should inspect your clothes while you're there, but make sure you do another inspection when you get home. Go through your suitcase, make sure nothing crazy than crawled into your, not suitcase, but your camping bag, whatever the case may be. Make sure you do that. Obviously, when you get home, also make sure you clean off any materials that you've used. We call it mess kits. Some of you guys might call it just your standard kitchen utensils and so on and so forth. I mean, I would clean those things while I'm there, but some people do, some people don't. I don't really understand why people don't. When you're going to have some form of access to water. And yeah, those are just a few of my camping tips. I mean, those are the basics. Comment below. Let me know any other camping trips that you have in mind, what you should do before, during, and after. And also, here's a bonus one. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but make sure you bring plenty of water. So if you can bring a couple of gallons of water, maybe just a gallon or 2 for the weekend. And depending on where you're going camping at, you might need a little bit more than that, because if you need to bathe and you don't have access to clean water or the cleanest of water, you want to make sure you have some on deck, so you can have some for bathing, something for cooking, and, obviously staying hydrated. All right. Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content, as always, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and feel free to share the video. And until next time, peace out.